Kim Jong-un's soldiers have entered the war, Ukrainian military have begun to report en masse about the participation of North Korean soldiers in assault operations. According to the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense, about 12,000 DPRK military personnel are concentrated in the Kursk region of Russia. Currently, the Russian Federation is using DPRK soldiers in the battles for the Kursk region, but according to Ukrainian intelligence, the North Koreans in the Kursk region might not be limited. The Russians are integrating them into combined units and using them in operations in the Kursk region areas. For now, only there, but we have information that their use might be possible in other sections of the front. There are already losses among this category. About the results of the first battles, the effectiveness of the North Korean soldiers, and the unenviable role assigned to them by the Russian command. More in the arsenal. Information about the first losses in the ranks of the North Korean army began to arrive as early as autumn. At that time, the losses were the result of successful artillery or missile strikes. A missile strike near Donetsk killed 6 North Korean officers. Following isolated losses in the occupied territories of Ukraine, there was a massive missile attack with Storm Shadow on the Russian command post in the Kursk region. In addition to the Russians, North Korean officers were also hit in that strike. Currently, Ukrainian military personnel are widely reporting the involvement of North Korean soldiers in assault operations in the Kursk region. North Koreans are storming in the Kursk area in conjunction with other units. There are already casualties. They are simply running through the fields and plains mindlessly like zombies, like cannon fodder. Following the initial reports, videos featuring North Korean assault troops have also emerged. According to Ukrainian intelligence, these are soldiers from the so-called assault corps, meaning those military personnel who have combat experience and military knowledge. Before being sent into battle, the Koreans are integrated into existing Russian units. The talk is about integrating 2,000 DPRK servicemen into the Marine Corps and airborne forces. This is the 810th Marine Brigade, and accordingly, the 76th Airborne Division. The Russian command treats Kim Jong-un's soldiers no better than the local units consisting of Russian mercenaries and convicts. Initially, the media speculated that Putin and Kim Jong-un had agreed on minimizing losses among Koreans, and their involvement in combat operations was done solely for gaining experience. It is now becoming evident that the life of a North Korean on the front line holds no value for Putin. So far, there are no recorded radio communications in Korean. In other words, they are not provided with communication means during assaults. They have no communication either between assault groups or with commanders. Or perhaps they do not know how to use radios. They operate with them on the principle of throw away and forget. As of today, according to South Korean intelligence, the losses of their northern neighbors in the war against Ukraine are counted in the thousands. At least 100 North Korean military personnel stationed in Russia have been killed, and another 1,000 have been wounded. In intense battles with Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region, a South Korean lawmaker reported on Thursday, citing the country's intelligence agency. On the battlefield, the assault by the North Koreans is halted by artillerymen and FPV drone operators. Ukrainian pilots share photos of North Koreans pleading for mercy from drones. Interestingly, unlike the Russians, North Korean soldiers try not to abandon the bodies of their fallen comrades. The commander of the Takimadyar unit published a video showing deceased North Koreans being stacked in piles mixed with Russians for further evacuation. However, it seems that the buggy on summer tires couldn't handle the evacuation of the bodies. Despite some unpreparedness for winter combat operations, Ukrainian military experts believe that the newly emerged enemy should not be underestimated. At one time during the years 1950-53, the heavy and bloody war between the South and the North made Korea one of the most militarized countries in the world. For Pyongyang, a strong army is a guarantee of the regime's stability. Millions of North Koreans have been instilled with readiness for a holy war in the name of the leader from a very young age. The DPRK military personnel are motivated. They have iron discipline. This is an excellent trait of any army in a totalitarian country. Strict discipline, clear hierarchy, and unwavering readiness to carry out commands unconditionally. With a relatively small population of 25 million, North Korea has about 4 million military personnel in reserve, which combined with active forces gives Kim Jong-un over 5 million ideologically indoctrinated soldiers. A peculiar axis of authoritarians has formed. China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran cooperate with other countries that despise the concept of the free world and believe that Russia should be supported in its attempts to restore its empire, because these countries believe in empires and spheres of dominance. Interestingly, the cooperation of the Axis countries began long before the war in Ukraine. For example, in October 2024, Fox News journalists discovered that North Korean engineers, at Iran's request, were helping to build underground tunnels. Hezbollah. In southern Lebanon, North Korean assault corps, which are present in the Kursk region, have participated in various military conflicts in different parts of the world. This includes the African continent and the Middle East. Another important factor. For decades since the Korean War, the USSR was the main military technical sponsor of Pyongyang. It was from those times that North Korea accumulated vast reserves of Soviet weapons and ammunition. Thanks to this, North Korean military personnel have extensive experience in using Soviet and Russian equipment. For example, Pyongyang's main battle tank, the Chonmaho, with more than 1,250 units. In essence, it is a renamed copy of the Soviet T-62. This is a trained, motivated, and composed personnel who are well versed in all types of Soviet-style weaponry, care about the lives of their comrades, and experience severe demotivation due to losses. And although the North Koreans are ready for war, they are not prepared for its modern realities. The most unpleasant surprise for the soldiers from Kaesong was expected to be Ukrainian FPV drones. According to our intelligence, kamikaze strikes cause real panic, which combined with the language barrier leads to the North Koreans firing on their own, including Kadyrov's troops from Akhmat. The DPRK forces suffered losses in Kursk and, out of fear, on 200 Kadyrov's men. In the process of deploying DPRK troops on the battlefield, the language barrier continues to be a significant and effective obstacle for command and coordination of actions. Due to this issue, North Korean soldiers opened friendly fire on the vehicles of the so-called Akhmat battalion. The result was Kadyrov's men being killed. That's all for now. Don't forget to write in the comments about which types of weapons you would like to learn more about. Like this video, and of course subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video. We continue.